Welcome to the Scott Townsend Show, brought to you by Dietzo Man Productions.
Hey, this is Scott. You're listening to the Scott Townsend Show, and today I have a special guest with me today, John Horovitz with Vidyard. How's it going, John?
It's going great, Scott. How about yourself?
Awesome. Great. John's a change management consultant who's helped businesses kind of approach the subject of using video for the first time in their toolkit. And so today we'll be talking about video, how to use video, specifically how you can use video to increase sales for your business. So thanks for joining us, John. And
you got it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it's an exciting topic for sure.
It's always been a good idea to use video, but now more than ever since February or March.
Yeah.
When everybody was shut down and separated. So now people are, Zoom, there's the new phrase, Zoom fatigue these days. People are reaching out in different ways to stay connected and to keep the sales coming in. But so that's why I've got you on the show today, John. Tell us a little bit about, we'll start off with talking about Vidyard and what you guys offer up, and then we'll start going into what I would really like to do today is kick down some of the barriers that people think about video and why they're not, excuses for why they're not using it, and try to debunk or kick down some of those barriers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting time. So I work at a company called Vidyard, which is a video hosting platform. We enable companies to create, host, manage, distribute their video content online. So, think of the limitations of a platform like YouTube, right? That's a public consumer-facing tool. Well, how do businesses, actual marketers, utilize video to get brand awareness, top of funnel lead generation, then pass it on to sales so that sales can take over and convert people in a much more natural way than the traditional marketing sales cycle of door knocking and convincing, right? How do we educate customers about our product in a natural way? And, to kind of jump into it, because of COVID, it's no surprise that video has kind of been on everyone's top of mind, right? In the past, we only watched video in movies and on TV, and now it's in our living room. This is a video. Zoom fatigue is real. People are on video all day, and now they're wondering, well, how can we leverage this to connect with customers and kind of get our point across without being too pushy in a digital first world?
One of the things that I think to start off with, this is what drives my belief in video, and that is 65 to 70% of communication is in the body language. So if you're sending a voicemail or if you're sending an email, 65%, you're only getting about 35% of the communication.
Yeah.
Whereas with video, you get the words, you see the person, you see the smile or not the smile, and you get a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's kind of funny. So in an old life, I used to work at a large company called Salesforce, and part of the sales cycle was to meet people on site. And I used to sell into Indiana as a state, and Alberta in Canada. And these are very community-oriented towns. So prospects and customers like to know who they're doing business with. And it's kind of to the point, right? Like I used to do a lot of calls and speak to people on the phone, but for any professional, whether it's sales or a lawyer or consultant, meeting a client face-to-face has something special in it. And, going down and meeting and shaking someone's hand, if you ask, like, why is this so much more effective in building a relationship? It's to your point. It's the nonverbal communication, right? We sit down for coffee. You find out that I put 2 sugars in my coffee, or I spill my cup of coffee and it makes me, less robotic. We're just regular people having a conversation. And because of COVID, that's not really something we could do right now. So it's like, well, how do we get across this idea that I'm a real person and I'm not just a voice on a voicemail? And it's kind of through video, right? It helps to bring us from a name on LinkedIn and a voice on a phone call to an actual person that I know and trust and can talk to.
It's kind of like when you joined the meeting here today. I've seen you on LinkedIn, you've seen me on LinkedIn and whatnot, but when you actually sit down and get to visit with each other for a second, you're just miles ahead that fast, you know?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of wild. Like I didn't know how into microphones you were. I'm really jealous. You have like a proper professional microphone, and here I am with my $15 JBL headset.
Yeah. No, this is actually a blue Yeti Nano. It's like $50, and
beautiful.
it's easy. So it's not a big deal at all. It's a USB, so you know it works out really well.
Isn't that kind of neat too? Like we've democratized the idea of what counts as high quality, right? Like even 5-10 years ago, you couldn't get a high quality microphone for $50. And it's funny because it's not that as a society we didn't have that technology, so there was no focus on it. It's like, why would an average person need a podcast microphone?
Or it was too expensive.
Or it was too expensive, right? It was only industry grade. And now it's like anyone can get into this, right? Like you want to do a podcast, you want to have something that comes off in a certain professional way or manner. There's an entire market out there. And that's also what's really cool. I mean, video or not, the hardware software for the average person is more accessible now than it ever was before, which is why you're seeing like such a huge jump in the amount of video and podcasts and videography creation.
That's a great point. And that's one of the questions that I had was, someone says, it's, if I do it, I don't have Hollywood style equipment. I don't have Panaflex cameras and huge lights and a crew and a boom microphone and all that stuff. And this isn't Cecil B. DeMille. This isn't 10 Commandments. This is just, you can do super simple. And actually I thought what I might do is, I've never done this before, but
let's try it.
Yeah. I was going to show you my setup because right now I've kind of got it set the way I want it set. With my college diploma here, my logo, my mug here, my caricature, the Disney University diploma, a Western painting over here. I'm a Star Wars fan, so that's a puzzle made up of 1,000 pieces, and each piece has 4 microscopic images of Star Wars, and you have to put it all together. Blah blah blah. So anyway, this plant here is just to cover up, just to fill in. But let me show you. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go behind the scenes here.
Nice.
So here's the microphone that we were talking about. And here's my computer that's set up on 4 books, because I was trying to get the camera eye level. And the microphone's on top of 4 books, Rubik's Cube. And so that's my setup. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. And then this webcam is just a webcam I got on Amazon. No big deal, Yeah. But someone says, I need all this equipment and expensive, blah, blah. No, you don't, man. Just get you some boxes, some books, set up a little, just think about what's behind you, I guess, is what you need to do. So that's right.
That's exactly it. Like, we often talk with people who are new to video, particularly sales reps or support or managers. And they're always concerned like, I don't have that Hollywood background or what it is. It's like, you don't need that. We're at an intersection of 2 things. People becoming more liberalized in their concept of normal, right? Like we don't care as much for the perfect. And this idea that we're all at work from home anyways because of COVID. And we all understand the situations people are in and that we're not in offices. And that's allowed the people that you're getting the video across to, your viewers, to not care so much about it being perfect in terms of background and stuff. What they care about is a human element and the actual message and story that's coming across, right? Gone are the days of Super Bowl style commercials that needs to be perfect. Here are the days of authenticity and who we are as a person. So, I mean, I've carved out this white background. It's actually the only part of my house that has a white background that doesn't have stuff. I mean, I live in a 900 square foot condo in a city with my wife. So we're always in flux of our place being super clean and not so clean, right? Everybody else in the world. So, I mean, if I show you the around 2, you see I have a puzzle and pictures, and then I have my kitchen and fruits and vegetables sitting there. And it doesn't really matter because someone who's watching this video doesn't care that I have bananas or avocados next to me. What they care is, who's this person listening to, and what does he have to say or she have to say? So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty neat place, and I'm actually kind of interested to see how this bleeds into other mediums as well. We've had casual writing in newspapers for a long time, and now we have casual video communication, and it's just this new world where we care more about content and substance than we do about flash and pizzazz.
So I'm a salesperson, and we're in this. Our department is wanting to use video. So we talked about the studio, so to speak. I mean, everybody pretty much just needs to carve out a little space. I mean, if you're in an office or if you're at home, just the four squares. Just think about the illusion you're trying to create. Doesn't matter what's, because there's a trash can right over there, or there's, whatever. No one's going to know that. So
no one's going to know. And you know what? It's they don't really care. And it's okay to show some personality too, right? Like I chose the white background because I guess my personality is bland, but you show elements of your personality too with Star Wars and your degrees, and that's totally okay. So when we talk a lot when we do a lot of onboarding and change management and training with sales reps and managers, it's not go and get a perfect setting, right? That's a big concern. It's like, well, I'm home and I have kids running around. It's like, it's totally okay. Mm-hmm. Just be respectable as if you're anywhere else. Like when you're in the office, you can still chat with people at the water cooler. You don't have to be a robot. You just keep it, make sure your place is maybe clean. Maybe you don't want people to know that you have McDonald's wrappers everywhere or something, but
might want to take down the Farrah Fawcett poster.
There you go. But showing some personality in a family photo or something, yeah, it's totally okay. We're gone are the days of the Super Bowl commercials.
Right. So now we're considering, we've got the studio set up. I'm either going to set up in a cubicle and kind of set up the camera and arrange my background the way I want it. Or there's a corner in the office where everybody's going to use this, Oh, there's green screen,
Actually, the spaceship background.
Right. I've got somewhere green screen around here somewhere. I don't like the Zoom thing where you can change backgrounds. It's just not, it looks too wonky, but what do I need to do? What's my video? What do I need to include on my videos now? I guess it depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah. Video is funny. Like if I'm correct and we're moving to this place of authenticity and content over flash, the thing that's most important is to keep an awareness as to who your viewer is. And people aren't the same. Everybody's different, and we typically fall into larger buckets of similarity. So you have people that are willing to listen to long form communication, maybe a video podcast like this where it's 30 minutes. And then there's people who, are traditional. They just they're the people that read your 50-word articles online instead of getting deeper. They only want a 30-second, 2-minute clip. So what's really important when we're doing video, and we often suggest this Vidyard or, if you're doing change management, is think about who your audience is that you're getting your message to, and really think about how to keep them engaged. Because that's the thing. We all have different attention spans, and some are much shorter than others, particularly because of the way that phones and the internet grab our attention. So find out what your content is. If I give any advice, it's find out what your content is, who you're trying to get to, and target your message for them. So, if you have to cram it down to a 30-second, hey, my name's John. I just wanted to let you know about ABC. We're doing an online event next week. Please come. Click here to register. Then that's it. And if I'm talking to somebody who I think wants more detail, let's say they do want to understand a topic more in depth, then I can set up and prepare an entire webinar and say, look, in the next 40 minutes, we're going to be talking about these 7 things. And so really it's about the messaging, about connecting properly with who's going to be actually watching your video content. That's key. Time is huge in video, right? No one wants to spend 3 hours if they have a 30-second attention span, and people that want to get deeper don't want to only look at something for 30 seconds. They want to get it. So the challenge is finding who your viewership is.
So I guess you could start off with, I'm just thinking maybe if I'm doing an event, I'm going to say, hey, Jonathan, this is Scott. Hope to see you at the XYZ trade show. See us at booth 100. For more information or how to register, click on the button below. Blah, blah, blah. And they can choose to opt in and get more information if they want more information.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's when we start to utilize other technologies, and where, looking at the MarTech landscape, it's gotten very complicated. It's kind of hard to navigate. But the good thing about all these new softwares coming together is they all connect fairly well, right? Like we're past Web 2.0. We're Web 4.0. we understand that utilizing technologies together could really benefit us. So having these 30-second intros that have, call to actions pop up that are beautifully designed that can lead you to more information, that's super beneficial too when we talk about video for sales and marketing. So to your point, you send out a teaser video, it's 30 seconds, and then here are 3 different resources you can click to learn more about depending on what you want, right? And so software like a Vidyard or whoever enables that type of workflow. Versus when we think of traditional video on TV, you can't do that. Oh, I know what a Big Mac is, but I can't learn about pricing or nutrition or competitors. So
that's a really good point. Another use of video that I was interested in learning about and researching this topic, I went to, you guys have some good resources there at Vidyard. They're talking about product information, talking about demonstrating uses of your product, or maybe answering the top 10 questions that you get a lot of. And, instead of answering it over and over and over again, how do you do that? Talk about that a little bit.
Totally. So you essentially find, so we all have webcams on our computer like we're using now. Computers have the ability to screen record, or you can use your iPhone to make videos. So the idea is if somebody's coming inbound with queries all the time, such as I forgot my password, right? I don't know how to add a user to this platform. I don't know how to do X. Normally what happens is you call customer support and there's someone who makes, call a range of a salary with benefits, $50,000, $60,000 a year, who's sitting there and answering those questions, and they only have 40 hours a day, but they're answering the same thing over and over again. So in traditional world, we send people to FAQ pages, but we know from the internet, 80% of online usage of the internet is video. People don't want to read stuff on the internet. They don't have the, mental attention span, we'll call it. So what people are starting to do in those cases is they're creating very quick videos with tool like Vidyard for Sales. And we have a free version for anyone who wants to go and test it out. But you can essentially go record your screen and actually show somebody how to reset their password. So instead of saying, go to this page and read 3 pages and directions as to how to reset your passwords, click here, and in 45 seconds, I'll literally show you how to go to File, User Settings, Reset Password. And then they can watch that video. And then from there, you can get it onto like a video hub, and they can start binge watching the content they need to get themselves up and running. This saves an insane amount of time from a customer support agent, right? Because a 3-minute email actually takes 15 to 30 minutes to manage back and forth. And the customer actually gets what they want a lot quicker. So kind of like we've seen NPS scores drastically increase as a result of video being used for customer support queries. And so to your point, you use a tool to record your screen, get to the information quickly, and then embed it on a website, or you can send it out as an email. And then everybody's kind of better for it.
So much more effective and efficient.
Totally.
Like you said, it saves so much time for the call center to be able to take more calls.
Absolutely. And work on the more, detailed nitty gritty. I have a lot of people I work with, they're launch and dedicated CSM managers or consultants, and they do, they've joined this company because they have a real interest in video and in sales and marketing processes. Let's all be honest, it's pretty annoying when someone says, I forgot my password, and now you're spending half an hour repeating the same thing. Like, that's not why people go to university. That's not why we spend, probably 15 hours a month doing professional development.
Right.
We did it because we want to get to the really interesting stuff. How do I customize this, or a security protocol here, connect? So it lets them focus on things that require a lot of brain power where only a human can work on it, right? Which is what the employee wants. That's why the employee makes the money they do, because they have this really deep knowledge set. And then for all the smaller, we'll call it easier, less complicated details, it's self-help. People do video. And, when you look at statistics of companies like Salesforce, when it comes to their Service Cloud, or even like a Zendesk, people like to serve themselves up to a certain point, right? So anyone out there who's afraid of allowing customers to go on their own, remember that your customers and prospects are individuals who are intelligent, are busy. They don't want to have to get on a phone call and wait in line. They don't want to send an email and wait 2 hours to hear a response. They want to know that they can go somewhere, find their information, do a step-by-step in a video, and move on with their day. We're all way too intelligent to waste time on I forgot my password.
It's, we are so used now to going to let's say YouTube, for example, to learn how to do something. So if you're changing a headlight out on your car, or you're trying to cook something, or you want to install a window or whatever. I mean, we're just so used to just going, watching, and doing instead of having to wait in line for someone to answer my question that might not be that helpful.
And why not have a YouTube for your own company, right? Why not have the Scott video hub for, you know, these 30 questions or even information, right? You can categorize so people can self-serve on their own. Again, it's the way they want to work, right? Your customers want to be quick and efficient in their time, and you want to use the brain power of yourself and your employees for things that require a human with, you know, 5+ years experience in an industry.
Exactly. I know I was with the company I was with before, I was talking to the customer service training or the service manager, and we were talking about video, and we weren't using video at the time, and he was like, you know, I can tell you 10 questions we get every day, the top 10 frequently asked questions, and we never got to the point where we made a video for each one, but that would have saved so much time and energy. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. We, you know, not to berate the point, but we also spoke at the beginning about how it doesn't need to be professional grade. That was the biggest barrier in the past, right? Like if I went to you in the year, not even long ago, like video started in 2009, I believe. So about 11 years, but let's say I went to you in 2013, which sounds like a long time ago, but you know, it's a flash in my memory. And I said, you know, let's create 30 videos about support. It's like, oh, you know, we don't have the budget for that. I'm gonna have to allocate $50,000 to make 10 videos.
Right.
Like, well, if we're correct that today people care less about the production quality and more about the content, and if we're correct that everybody is at home and is more willing to use video, and we see it on the internet and the statistics, then we don't need to go and hire a fancy agency to make us Hollywood style videos. What we need is a service agent to be able to quickly make a video as questions come up and then put them away. So they don't pre-do anything. The first time someone says, I forgot my password, they make a video response. After a week, you'll have the best video response for that, and that becomes the de facto one that people send out. Then a month later, someone says, oops, I don't know how to change the background color. Okay, they make a video. After a while, you have the best one. Now you have 2 videos. And before you know it, you have this video library of great video content customers love, didn't cost you a dime, but it's saving you a tremendous amount of time and resources or money over time.
You know, the best thing that could have ever happened to guys like you guys or anybody in the video business are Jimmy Fallon shooting from home.
Yeah.
You know, so when you saw that, it was like, if he can do it, anybody can do it.
Absolutely.
The second thing was Krasinski, when he did that, John Krasinski, when he did what was that little show he did where he was trying to promote all, you know, good things happening from his house. What was that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Anyway, yeah, so John Krasinski did that, whatever that show was. I'll post it in the show notes if I can get the name of it. But after those 2 examples, it's like if these guys can do it, anybody can do it.
Anyone can. Yeah.
What do you say to somebody who says that I only have a face for radio. I don't want to be on video. And there's a lot of people like that. Totally.
I'd say, look at me. If I can do it, you can do it. The truth is, you know, again, people don't care. They see past it now. We're in a whole new world than we were 20 years ago. I always put it to the equivalent of the first time we hear our voice on tape, right? Nobody likes their own voice. Most people are self-conscious of the way they look on video. After you make enough videos, and it's not a lot, it's 5 videos, 10 videos, you realize that it doesn't matter. Just like if I recorded my voice in the 80s and I made a note and it sounded horrible, after the 5th or 10th time that I make a note and hear myself, I kind of get over it. And I realize that the world sees me for who I am anyways. Like if I met you in person, it would be the same look as this. Whether,
exactly.
You know, as much as I wish you could see better, this is what you're getting. Just like my voice. So what we say is just make video. We usually put people on a sequence, and this is actually good advice that I would give to anyone out there who wants to try is make 2 videos a day for a week. Don't do anything crazy. Get a free trial of a tool, Vidyard or whomever. Just make videos and send it out to your peers. Hi, it's John here. Wanted to let you know I'm going out for lunch today. Send it out. By the end of the week, you'll be so familiar with video that you won't care. And
That's
then
a great point.
That's it.
Get them used to using the software, get them used to hearing themselves, seeing themselves. Maybe not even post it. Maybe not even send it to anybody. Just do it.
Make it. Just get used to it. And you know what? Any sales rep out there who thought that people were buying from them because they didn't see their face is wrong. No one was buying, this isn't the 1940s. No one's been buying because of people's looks for a very long time.
Right.
I mean, it's corny to say, but people buy from value. What that really means is people buy when it solves their problem, right? I remember I had a VP at the last company I worked at Salesforce, who used to say, people, what was the exact line? Shoot. That's right. People buy because of pain and they grow because of gain. Meaning the first time, if it's a new customer, they're only going to buy from you because there's some problem that they have, right? We typically say it's challenge and value, but really it's a pain. It's something that is bothering them enough at work.
Right.
That they want to reach out to you and talk to you. That's it. No one's buying because you have slick hair, because you speak with a beautiful accent. They're not, right? They might talk to you for 10 minutes, but they're not going to spend $50,000 with you. What they will do is if you solve their challenge, in which case the way you look, no one, so long as you come off trusting and, maybe you don't have mustard stains on your shirt, it's totally okay. Get the trust, you solve for their pain, and then they'll grow because of a game. And then you've built that relationship with them and you can kind of pitch them on, it's not just about challenges, it's also about benefit. And so anyone that thought they were buying, that their customers were buying from them because of how pretty they were, totally wrong anyways.
So if you're doing those videos like you suggested, maybe just send it to your mom for the first week or so.
Send it to your mom. She'll probably flatter you anyways. My mom, she'll tell me to get a haircut and I'll have to re-record it. So.
Yeah. Oh man. So let's talk about different types of video that you might be able to use. The first one that I noticed was internal comms, using video for internal communications. Can we talk about that for just a second?
100%. You said earlier, and you used the term video fatigue, I think, before when we were chatting about Zoom. That's real, right? In old world, we'll call it, before COVID, we used to do weekly stand-ups of video. And most companies do it with your management team, or this was for the whole company. So it's 250 people packed into a room, and our CEO stands up and he talks about all the great changes we've done for a week, and then HR talks about the new employees, and sales talks about success, and we go through it, and it's called a town hall. Well, you can't do that in person anymore. And so what did everyone do the first week of COVID is they organized a Zoom call and they tried to get 250 people onto a Zoom call, which is very difficult. Half people don't get the link changes, there's all these problems.
Right.
It's hard to block off an hour for 250.
Heck, it was hard just for you and I to get together because I was in a different.
Yeah, exactly. We're in a different digital room. So, I mean, how do we solve this? Well, my CEO is also talking to us usually about things that are pretty privy to employees, right? It's not, NASA secrets, but it is competitive secrets. It's, hey, this is what we're developing. These are the successes we've seen. These are some customers that we brought on. That's information that can't be totally public.
Right.
And requires a certain level of security, right? Not financial documents security, but security where we respect people's privacy and we don't want to get it out. In which case, what we've been doing since COVID started, and a lot of customers have adopted this because it is actually very easy, is our CEO and management team who wants to talk will simply record themselves in a video like this. They'll turn on the Vidyard for Sales widget through Gmail or Google Chrome, and they'll talk or they'll share their screen. Right? Our CEO does a PowerPoint, and he shares his screen. He goes through a PowerPoint and says, look, this is all the things we've done. This is what we're working on. This is where we're tracking on our goals. Everyone have a great week. And then he takes that and he just emails it out to 250 people. And he locks it down with a passcode that only employees have. So now there's a multitude of benefits when we think about it. First of all, organizationally, it takes him 10 minutes to make a video and that's it. Okay. Doesn't have to worry about people logging on. Second, an hour meeting becomes 10 minutes because there isn't setup, there isn't chit chat. If he wants to string together videos of the CEO talking, then the CFO talking, then my manager talking, he can do that. It'll be 30 minutes.
All right.
So it's a lot quicker and saves everyone time. It's secure. And the biggest benefit is I get to watch it on my own regard. So instead of it being Tuesday morning for an hour, it's Friday at 4:00. I get a 10-15 minute video and I can watch it whenever I want. I can watch it right then and there. I can watch it on Saturday. I can watch it the next week. So long as he keeps the video alive, I'm able to watch that video on my own time. So we also save a crazy amount of time as a company.
Which is a huge show of respect to you, because instead of you breaking your schedule down to attend this one thing, you can keep going and doing your thing. And then when you have a break in your schedule, when you have time, then you can watch it, asynchronous versus synchronous. And it's a huge show of respect for the employees.
Yeah, that's a good word, respect. I used to always say that, good companies allow their employees to work with respectful autonomy, which is like they trust them to do their work. And that's exactly it. And I guess if we were to throw in another element to this whole mix, it's because of COVID, we have to trust our employees more. We have to. There's no more micromanaging. It can't function and exist. You don't know what I'm doing during the day, nor should you care.
You probably didn't know when they were in the cubicle.
Yeah, that's right. I was just nodding my head and smiling and waving to everyone as they passed by. But it's like, so who cares if I don't watch it Wednesday at 9 a.m. and we all sit together? We're not kids. So I watch it Thursday night after dinner. Like, so long as I'm getting information. And so you're right. This idea of respect for every level of employee is it's a new element in society that probably for the better and is only going to snowball and grow bigger.
There was another example I saw. Let me try something. I've never done this before either.
Sure.
So I'm going to try to share my screen. Hang on just a second. For those of you who are listening, I'm going to I'll share this link in the show notes. But there was an example that you guys posted on your website. Let me see if I can get to it.
Did you get it? Yeah.
Yep.
And this is Marketo. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. This is how Marketo uses Vidyard because they're a very big user of ours. We're their video host of choice. Scroll down and you're essentially going to see the same thing, which is a prospecting video done by, it's number 3, done by one of their sales reps. So that's a prospecting video. If that's what you were showing was like, this is an example of somebody prospecting.
Let me watch it real quick here.
Yeah.
Hi, Karina. This is Anna from Marketo. Getting in touch with you today as I noticed you attended the CXO Leaders Summit late last week. As the Director of Operations for Insights and Strategy, I'm curious to understand how IAG is currently doing so with their piece of tech. I know you guys have heavily invested in Adobe and Adobe Analytics. However, I would love to chat with you around Visible. Could be a great thing to add to your stack to really help you measure that marketing attribution and marketing ROI. We're also hosting an event in Sydney late this month on the 29th, which I'd love to invite you to. I've shot some more details in this email around sort of logistics around the event, but would love for you to attend and see if there's any alignment in our calendars to have a conversation. This is Anna from Marketo. Cheers.
That's I love that. So simple, easy to do. Following up with someone who attended an event or at the same time inviting them to a future event and just staying in touch.
That's it. And it's like, and I know we've covered it a bit, but the video is quite simple. Like it's this person, Anna, who works at Marketo, who makes a video to follow up with somebody that she met. It's not fancy and it just gets the content. Hey, it's Anna here. It was great meeting you at event X. We're having an event next week. And you notice like she pauses and thinks. It's not perfectly scripted. She's not acting. She kind of thinks about, it's on the 29th of September, says her thing. And then at the end, a call to action pops up that says, book a meeting with me if you want to chat more. Right? And that call to action at the end, when you're doing videos, is really important. For non-marketers, a call to action is a pop-up that has a link to our URL. So in this case, Anna puts a call to action at the end that's a link to her calendar to book meetings, right? It's like to drive that next step. This is how she's going to reach out to prospects, show her personality. Look, I'm just some person in an office. This is how I talk, and I think I come off trustworthy because I'm giving you content that's important. And if it's relevant to you, let me know. And if it's not relevant to you, that's okay too. We don't want to sell you something that you don't want. So here's my pitch. It's the equivalent of a door knocking back in the day. Book a meeting with me if you'd like. And it just makes the experience super easy for anyone on the receiving end and gets the information across. So yeah, it's a great example of not needing to do Super Bowl style videos mixed in with building trust and getting your own personality across.
We were doing an event one time, and I wanted to follow up with people who had registered for the event. So I created a video for each person, and I personalized it like saying, hey, John, thanks for registering for the upcoming event. It's going to be a great time. Here's the, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if I'd recommend doing that per se, because it took me like all day for days to personalize the video, saying each person's name and having to reshoot the video 300 times, It was right. It was a murder. The last thing I want to go ahead.
I was just going to say, so there is technology available for people that want to do like high frequency personalization called personalized video. It's not, not the most creative name, but it is what it is. And enables you to create one video and it'll render out different elements. So you can like hold a sign that says, "Hi, Bob," and it whips out Bob, Mary, Jane, Brian, whoever it is, and sends it out to the appropriate person. People do things like that for event invitations, right? So they'll make a quirky video and in it, it'll have the person's name, the booth number, the date of the event, and they could swap it out for every event, every person, in which case you make one. And you can kind of take advantage of technology.
Automation.
Right? Again, yeah, I mean, I don't have the time, the great thing
I didn't have the time to do it either. No.
That's right. But the great thing about the internet is that you're not, back in the day, if you were selling vacuums or knives, door knocking, you could only prospect in your community because who has time to drive to, Las Vegas and door knock? Now we have the internet, we can reach anybody. The double-edged sword to that is there's too many people to door knock on, right? Even 300 people is too much. So we have to use technology to leverage its own ability to get our word out. And this is one of the ways we do it. Connecting into tools like Pardot and Marketo and, for email blasts.
The last thing I want to talk about, I know our time's, it's really short here, is special occasion videos. I've on LinkedIn, for example, it says, it might say Jonathan Horovitz's birthday is today. And it gives you like 3 buttons to click, like happy birthday or whatever. And so you might get like 30
the same thing.
Yeah, people just checking the box and moving on.
Totally.
So one of the ways I've found to stand out is I'll take my phone. This is the best camera you can get.
Yep.
One of, and I just shoot a video. I'll just hey Jonathan, hope you have a happy birthday. Talk to you later. Bye. And I'll post it to LinkedIn on your message it to you, and I'll do it on Facebook sometimes. And I guarantee I'm the only person that sends a video. So if you're a salesperson and you want to stand out and you've got clients and their birthday or their special something happened, stand out. Use video.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about how crazy the growth rate is in video, particularly since COVID, like even Zoom, like phenomenal growth rate. But when you actually look at the stats of how many people use it, it's actually still a fraction of society. So even though we've had this explosive growth, you're still in the minority, right? Like, lawyers use Zoom a little bit, but they're still not really in bed with video, right? Doctors are still audio. They're very, very few are on video. So we see this growth, but don't think that you missed the boat. You can still jump in now and be the first person that reaches out to your customers with video. And there's a wide variety of doing video. I mean, get creative with it. Just like you would have the first time you got email and you were trying to get creative with email, right? There's so many different ways to utilize it. The video is going to grow now for the next 20 years. My own personal opinion, it's going to take over all mediums, and video itself will have multiple categories, whether it's, VR, AR, high quality, low quality, social versus professional. I mean, it's going to get great, and you're still at the cusp of it.
That's a great point. So those of you watching or listening, for more information, John, I'll have your link at the end of the video here, and I'll post it in the show notes with the podcast. So, John, thanks a lot for taking the time to visit with us. I mean, we could talk about this all day, and probably we need to set up another meeting to talk about different aspects of video, but appreciate you taking the time to visit with us.
No, thanks for having me, and I'm going to hold you to that. We're going to do a second podcast.
All right.
We're going to get way deeper into
Let's do it.
To the future of video.
Good deal. All right, so for Jonathan Horovitz, this is Scott Townsend. Thanks for watching the Scott Townsend Show, and we'll talk to you later.
The Scott Townsend Show is a Dietzo Man production. For more episodes, visit the Scott Townsend Show YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.